Hello, and welcome to She Speaks Bravo with Emily Hanks. I'm Emily, in case you couldn't tell. And before we get into the recap with my friend Pia, I wanted to just say hello to anybody who clicked on this video and might be like, what's this chick all about? I post 3 new episodes a week, all Bravo recaps. And when a good true crime doc comes out, I recap those too. So give me a like, give me a subscribe, leave a comment, hit the bell, and I will see you after the intro. My name is Emily, and I have been watching Bravo TV as a form of self-care for over a decade. Needless to say, I'm a complete mess. Subscribe and follow along for painfully insightful recaps about Bravo, true crime, and other great TV. Hit that bell. Hello, everybody. Welcome to She Speaks Bravo with Emily Hanks. I'm Emily, and today we are talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So you know what that means. Hi, Pia.
Oh, hey. Did you guys miss me?
I missed you. I certainly did. Okay, so how are you?
I'm great. I'm very excited because, as we talked about last week, that was an episode of exposition to get us into we're getting into the crux of it, guys. It's just uphill from here. And I am locked, loaded, buckle up, buttercup. Let's go.
When we're done with this recap, we'll go into the mid-season trailer. We'll touch on it. We'll break it down.
I'm sizzling.
They've also started doing the after show.
Oh, yes.
But no Rinna, no Kathy, no Diana.
I feel like they're saving them. I feel like they don't want them to have any after show because they're going to be the crux of it of the reunion. So they don't want to give anything away.
I was pretty disappointed. I feel like I kind of suffered through all of the after show because I was hoping for interesting content and there was kind of nothing that exciting.
Yeah.
Erika is I think the fun has run out on Erika.
Oh, fun has completely run out. Now it's just cringe.
Yeah, I'll talk about the after show a little bit. There's not much to say, but I'll talk about it when we're done. But I was just every bit of everything she talked about was avoiding what you really wanted her to mention. And you're so what are you doing here then?
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. It's so you're useless.
Yeah.
So, but before we get into the episode, did you see that Nicolas Cage's ex is suing Erika?
No, why?
Such a weird connection. Okay, let me go find the I know it's such a there's just so many weird
this lady can't she just
needs to go.
She needs to just go and change her name and live somewhere quiet.
Okay, so the account Brands by Bravo posted this. So I'm reading from their post. Nicolas Cage's ex sues Erika Jayne for $700K plus over alleged stolen funds. And so she's claiming that in January 2016, she was in a car accident and sustained injuries. And the case resulted in a confidential settlement that was agreed upon in March of 2019. The amount was $924,300. According to the current lawsuit, Fulton learned on July 14th, 2022, through, quote, newly discovered financial documents where her settlement funds actually went. The documents revealed that on April 8th, 2019, Fulton's settlement check had been deposited into a Girardi and Keese bank account without her consent.
Oh my God.
Yeah. This was a complete outright forgery, as Fulton never endorsed this check and certainly never agreed to have it deposited. This negotiated check was in fact a forgery and a lie. The check was never held in trust but spent. It is beyond shocking and the pale that the firm would conceal the arrival of the check and not obtain Miss Fulton's endorsement as required by law. Yeah. So Fulton only received $190,000 of her settlement. Yeah. And so I'm trying to like skip to the good stuff. So she also received a couple things, but anyway, so now she is suing for the rest of it.
I feel like that was where it sounds like they started getting desperate. Because that's really sloppy because it's like, it's wrong what they did in general to all these people. But I feel like when you start messing with people who actually have connections with really good attorneys and, you know, just like they're used to like contracts and stuff like that, that's when it gets messy. Like Nicolas Cage's ex-wife, you don't think that she knows a contract?
Yeah.
Like that was really messy. I'm surprised it took so long for us to even find that out though.
Well, that's sort of why this is hilarious. And again, with Erika still trying to be like, that wasn't, because that's what her lawyer's like, I'll read the quote because her lawyer keeps saying the same thing, just the same version of it. His client is a non-lawyer who had no role in the actions of Girardi or others. And I get it, like go after the lawyers in the firm for sure. But the problem is she's the one who looks like she has all the money on her. Like she's the one who has all the jewels and all the shit. And so like, unfortunately, it's, you know what it is? It's exactly like this. You know, in the mob movies, like in Casino, like Sharon Stone, she's wearing all the furs. And so when the feds are like a knock, hi, all that shit was bought with like murder money. Yeah. You need to give those back. She can't be like, sorry, I don't care. I like the fur. They're like, nope, murders bought that. You have to give it back. You got to give it back. I just like, have they never heard of like repo? Like if you don't get to keep things that are like not paid for. Like when you find out that things were illegally got, like when you find out that your car you've been driving has been stolen, unfortunately, you have to give it back. It happens all the time. The thing is, it's not like, and again, I think we've talked about this at length. It's not like we could have even gotten our head around the fact that she didn't know anything. But it doesn't negate the fact that you can't keep it just because you don't know something. You know what I mean? And that's what I feel like is the biggest problem that I have with her is that she thinks that she's so entitled to, and she thinks, well, even if I like, I do think she knew, but I'm going to go with she doesn't know. We're doing that just for the sake of story. Like let's say she doesn't know. Fine. She doesn't know. She had no idea. Now you do. You have to give it back. It does not matter that you don't know. You still have to give it back because guess what? It's not yours. Mm-hmm. Sorry. It's just that's how it works. I mean, that's even happened to people. Let's go to a really sad and extreme. People who have been raising a child that maybe their spouse stole. Right? We've seen stories like that in our local true crime. Yep. And they had nothing to do with it. They thought it was that child they raised it with love, and thought they went through the legal process. But their spouse stole the baby or whatever. And then we find out years later that baby was stolen. You don't get to keep baby because baby was stolen from family. Like, it's sad and it's confusing because you did it with good intention, but it's still a problem because exactly. Like got their baby taken. You know? So like, it's like, should they just screw that family? Yeah. That's it. It makes it messy and muddy. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, no, we're not saying it's easy, but you still have to think. You're not thinking about the other people who were also like taken advantage of. So like she's just she's solely thinking about herself in this situation and not thinking about the other people in this situation that, you know, were taken advantage of and their money was stolen. It's like she like clawed and fought her way to get all of these things. She's like, I sold my soul to get these things. So tough luck for you losers. Right. This is my stuff. Don't take it away from me. Sorry. I don't care what Tom was doing. I got this stuff. It's like, okay, unfortunately you didn't earn it though. Yeah. Like it's not like you got all this from your Erika Jane, singing career. And it's like, I feel like she so wholeheartedly thinks it's like, I get to keep it because these are gifts. So even if it's like, she keeps saying that. Yeah. Like these were gifts that Tom gave me. So like, I mean, that's it's unfortunate that he
obtain these gifts illegally, but these are gifts and I get to keep them. And what you need to do is go over to Tom and figure out how he's going to pay that back.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah, go ask Tom for it. They're like, unfortunately,
I think that's what she thinks. I think she's like, well, Tom is responsible for giving you the monetary value of the gift that I'm going to keep. No.
No, girl.
No, girl.
In other really, really, this is the best news though. Like this news I'm about to share, you guys have seen it, I'm sure, this is great news for Beverly Hills, for the future of Beverly Hills. One of the top guys on the production side was fired. Alex Baskin was the president over at Evolution. And this was the guy that has been protecting the Fox Force 5. This is the guy that's been making sure they get the good edits. And so also, if you checked out my stories on Instagram, I talked about this podcast, Reality Bites. It's a podcast that's by a producer. She's anonymous on her podcast, but her voice isn't disguised. So you could, if you know her, you would know who it is. But she talks about kind of the inner workings, like how stories are told and how they get things out of cast. Like it's not manipulated. It's just like, you have to have a whole crew and camera and lighting and stuff set up. So they kind of explain like how they produce reality.
Yeah.
And so listening to, there's one part that really stood out, and they talk about how a good producer, when you go into a scene, that there's going to be a certain like story. There's certain story beats they're going to hit. Like they're going to talk about like what happened the night before and what's going on this season, etc. But a good producer, if the conversation shifts, you let it happen. You don't like step in and manipulate it. And it really made me think like, ooh, that's what's been wrong on Beverly Hills is these producers have been coming in like, hold on, we're going to shift it. We're going to move it. We're going to manipulate it. It's just felt so controlled and careful with them in particular. And that's also like why last season Erika remember when she got so fucking mad? Of course you remember when she got so mad at Garcelle down in La Quinta.
Yeah.
And because Garcelle didn't realize that that's what the producer was doing when the producer was like, hey, bring up Tom calling Erika. And that's why Dorit was like, but didn't she say she didn't want to talk about it? Like for them, it was like, wait, hold on. Are you not going to follow the like unspoken rule of like, not listening to the producers when they try to, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, absolutely.
These producers that were basically making sure that they looked good and we didn't get to see reality. So this guy getting fired, a lot of people are saying this is probably why, because, the writing's on the wall for a while.
Yeah.
This is probably why Kyle has been quoted as saying this may be my last season.
Yeah, because she's not getting, this is like the worst Kyle's ever been portrayed. And I was like, ooh, they're really like not giving a fuck about like making Kyle look good this season, which I'm loving because it's like, I'm so sick of this shit. Hold on 1 second. I need to yell at my dog.
Okay, go ahead. Go yell at your dog. Okay, so this is great news because most likely this could mean the end of Rinna also.
I hope so.
Because she's pretty much being edited out of this season. So it feels like they're sick of her. And it feels like we're finally going to get, I have hope. Because I can't handle anymore.
I'm really done with Rinna. She's not even fun for me anymore. Like in the beginning, I did like Rinna. The past couple of years, I've been tolerating Rinna. I am so over her. I would love for her to make an exit. Diana's ass needs to go too.
Diana doesn't even count. She's
like,
gone.
she doesn't. She needs to. If I swear to God, if they keep her next season, I like literally.
She won't. They won't.
Who else can go? I mean, those are the two I definitely need to go. Erika can go too.
I do think they need to get rid of Erika at this point too, because she's not going to give us anything that we want to hear. I only want her there to like talk about her drama, but she's not going to talk about her drama, and she's going to be very problematic. And so at this point, it's just she's unnecessary. She's rogue.
Yeah,
she's dark.
She's dark. You have one more time and you're back in that bedroom.
That was the most black mama thing you could have done. I don't think so. No,
not in my house.
Do you guys like how raspy Pia's voice is? I vote you like keep screaming periodically just to keep
I know.
it.
Like, I think that this is my new voice forever because I'm a loud person in general. So I just don't think my voice will ever heal.
I love it.
This is my life.
I love it.
God damn it. One more second. You're back in the bedroom. We're done.
Okay. Pen is the cutest dog ever, but Pen has been quarantined.
Yes.
Is Pen away, or do you just have the shock thing to warn him?
To warn him. He's just like, it's like a vibrating thing, but he doesn't like it. So if I just show it to him, he doesn't even have the collar on. He's like,
that's amazing.
He's just like, ooh. I'm like, you don't even have the collar on.
That's actually really, really funny though. He's just like, he doesn't know how it works. He's like, I just don't like that when you have it.
Yeah. He's like,
that's so cute. Pen is very, very cute though. All right, let's get into the episode because we're going to have plenty to talk about there. I think this is 11, actually. Episode 11 is called The Weight of Words. Why is it called that?
Oh, because I don't want to give the ending. Crystal.
Oh my God. Is that like a play on the weight?
Yes.
Oh, no, I think that's a little
The weight of words.
I think that's a little inappropriate.
It is inappropriate, but also kind of appropriate because what Erika did was bad. But again,
but they shouldn't they kind of should do a play on an eating disorder joke.
Absolutely.
Because I'm glad they finally put if anyone you know is suffering with an eating disorder, and they gave you a hotline, because they Bravo has gone a decade not putting anything up like that. So thank you for finally recognizing, Bravo, that we need to do that. Yeah. Pia, you didn't even hear me at all.
I'm sorry.
Pia had her headphones out and she just tried to come back on. She goes, yeah. Yep. It was believable though, to be honest. I thought I just
really didn't want to interrupt again. I just feel like I have I feel like a mom that has a terrible kid, and I'm just like stressed the fuck out right now.
I can't hear him, so whatever he's doing, it's not affecting the recording.
He just keeps losing his tennis ball under the goddamn furniture. I'm like, I'm not doing this. Okay, Penn is gonna have to figure his life out. Okay.
Penn is gonna have to figure his life out. Okay, so update. Rinna, Erika, and Garcelle have COVID, which is about to spread through the entire cast, obviously.
And it's Omicron. You definitely probably got it at Garcelle's party.
100%.
I was thinking that.
I wonder how many other people from Garcelle's party have it.
Right.
I mean, it's just at this point, unfortunately, thankfully, the variants are much more mild. But
Omicron was I think Omicron was like the better one you could have had. Like, even like, because with the new strains that are going on right now, I think Omicron was the one that was like, have that one.
Oh no, are the new strains worse?
I think they're not like deadly, but I just think that they're more inconvenient.
Oh,
I think the newer strains are like just like more icky.
Great. Okay, so Jamie Lynn Curtis comes over, and for some reason, Jamie Lynn Curtis, who has a full head of gray hair, Kyle is like, okay, I was doing my roots and now I have dye all over my head, and I'm freaking out, and it's like being all insecure. And Jamie Lynn Curtis like grabs.
Are you calling her Jamie Lynn?
What am I saying?
You're saying Jamie Lynn.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Am I saying Lynn?
Yeah.
I'm saying it fast. I apologize.
Okay, Emily. Pause at one time. He turned on a goddamn fucking vacuum. I'm literally sorry. What is that? Why?
All right, I think we got it, guys. Pia looks like a stressed out mom with a toddler.
He turned on. I have one of those vacuums that self moves around the house. The robot vacuum.
The robots.
He turned that on. And I was like, what is happening in my life?
Okay, so Jamie Lee's like, I'm not here for your gray hair. I'm here for your heart. and no other reason. Kyle looks so uncomfortable. Kyle's like, okay, but my hair.
I know.
So
she was so serious. She was like, can you see it? Can you see any grays?
She has a full head of gray hair. Like, she's not here. Okay, so Jamie has a charity called My Hand in Yours, and she's there to raise money for it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh at the charity, but I was just already thinking about
Dorit.
Yeah, sorry. I'm like,
which is possibly one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen. And so Diana comes in, like everyone's showing up. Of course, Diana's like, I'm not in the mood for Sutton at all. And I'm like, I really don't care about you. Like,
I hate her so much.
I hate her so much.
I think she might. No, I was going to say the one that should not be named, but no, I was going to say, do I hate her more than Teddy? But no, I don't. Teddy still takes the cake for me, but she's getting close. You think you like you hate her?
I might hate her more than Teddy.
No,
because Diana's evil.
Yeah, but Teddy is so boring that I don't know if that trumps it. Like, I hate Teddy so much. I don't know that they both can just live on it. Maybe Teddy can get Diana to do her podcast now that Tamara is going to be gone.
I have a weird feeling that Tamara's not going to leave the pod.
I was going to tell you that too, because I had just seen Tamara talking about her being on OC on the pod, and I feel like they had to have I think they had like a sidebar conversation, because I'm sure that did come up, but I think Tamara's like, I can't do this to Teddy.
Yeah.
This is all she has.
Yeah. It's really annoying. Dorit is so starstruck over Jamie Lee Curtis. Like, she's starstruck. Like, she's like, oh
I mean, God, I would be too. I'm like, love Jamie Lee Curtis.
Like, she is like, oh my God. Like, she is freaking out. Sutton's funny little white dress, like her tight little white dress. And I don't mean to like make fun of Sutton's body, but Sutton just has like a funny little body and funny little everything.
She has like the tiniest little legs.
Like the tiniest little legs, like her little, like just her body is just so, she's just such a strange little person. I think I said it, like, was it last week? I was like, I'm just going to just fall into it. Like, Sutton right now, she's just entertaining to me. Like, at the moment, if she becomes unentertaining, that's fine. I can 86 her or whatever later. I really appreciate, though, that Sutton was not having Kyle's messy attempt to have her sit next to, and Kyle's bitchy little moment in the confessional where she was like, I mean, oops, but let's face it, Sutton's gonna have a problem with whoever she sits next to.
I thought that, okay, thank you for pointing that out, because everything of what you said, I was wondering if Kyle thought the producers were going to cut out her putting the bags on like next to, because she was like, okay, Diana here, Sutton here. And I was wondering if Kyle was like, because she's obviously producing, like she's like, this putting those two together will be entertaining. But I was wondering if like Kyle thought like, oh, but they'll like cut that part out and just have whatever happens happen. But again, the producers are not letting her get away with things that easy. Because I think in the past they would have cut out her doing that, and it just like would have been more like, oh, didn't even realize. Like, no, you realize because you said it out loud, Diana, Sutton.
And the fact that she said she'd have a problem with anyone she sat next to means like,
yeah, that's okay. It was so shady. I caught that too. And I was like, she just does not like Sutton. She does not like you.
She wants us to like, and it's true. Sutton is reactive, but like she sat next to Sheree and I mean, then, okay. So then the lashes. Sheree says, do you have any lash glue? Now I'm assuming Sheree might've meant like, can I borrow it?
And then she did.
And Sutton, so this is an after show moment. So Sutton explains in the after show that Kyle was like, get the lash glue. Someone get the lash glue. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't Sutton's lash glue. Like Sutton has her own lash glue that has like a brush or something. Uh-huh. This was a different lash glue so that she wasn't used to the applicator. And so she's like, I've never seen this lash glue before. I've never seen it. And it just came out a big old glob and it went all over her face. I guess it like was like worse than we could even see on camera. But I love Sheree's response. She's like, I can't stand you. And then Jamie Lee Curtis comes around and Sutton's like, Auntie Jamie is taking care of you. And she goes, thank you, Auntie Jamie. And Sutton goes, and thank you, Sutton, because I got your lash on.
So funny.
No one is thanking you right now.
Oh my God.
No one is thanking you right now. But I hate that Kyle looks over at Diana at one point in it and is like, are you loving this? It's like, stop encouraging her to hate your friend. I'm putting this in quotes if you're listening. I'm putting this in quotes because I don't understand. And Kyle even says in the after show like 5 times, like, Sutton and I are really good friends. Like, I talk to her like all the time. We are really good friends. It's like, okay, well, I don't understand. You don't know Diana. So why are you so excited that she hates Sutton?
Because Kyle is messy bitch. Like, I'm so over her.
It's so bad.
She's a fucking messy bitch. And I'm so happy she's starting to get exposed.
Yeah. She's like, are you loving this? And Diana's like, mm-hmm. And so then Dorit like stage whispers to Diana. She's like, I hear that you went to lunch with.
It was a stage whisper.
Sutton. And fucking Diana, she's like, I'm a little repulsed by her. Bitch, I'm repulsed by you. I can't even talk anymore about what she's fucking said. She's just like so fucking dramatic. Like, knock it off.
Yeah, no, I just like cannot wait to get to the reunion because it's like Diana's getting everything she wants in the moment of like, you know, as they're filming because everyone's up her ass. But it's like, we see everything. So it's like, she's not getting what they're giving her from the fans. And I can't wait for her ass to get called out. I cannot wait. Because I don't think she's going to handle a reunion well.
I wonder if she'll even show up to the reunion.
She better. I hate when that happens. When like,
me too.
I fucking hate that. Like, it's just like, we look forward to a reunion. And if the people who are in the most drama don't show up, it's like, what are we having a reunion for? Like, these other people didn't do anything all season.
I wish that people could like get arrested for not going to
damn.
Go to call the police.
That was harsh.
There's a warrant out for their arrest.
Or maybe they just like don't get to be, no one gets to say your name on air for like 5 years. I think that would hurt them even more than a jail. They'll be like,
both. I want them to spend 24 hours in jail.
No one's talking about me.
And no one says their name.
We ignore you. We act like you don't exist.
Yes.
5 years.
5 years.
I don't know why 5 feels like a really good number.
I like it because because then you're dead. You're gone.
Yeah, because it's like an odd number and it's like, it's just a little like, oh, like it just feels a little too long.
Yep.
It's like, what, 5 years? Like not 2? Five, bitch.
Yep. 5. But then we get this amazing scene. So Jamie Lee Curtis is like, okay, guys, while you're eating, I'm going to go over what's in your gift bags. And I swear to God, this is like an SNL sketch.
I felt like Jamie knew that like this was ridiculous, though. Like, I was like, this is ridiculous, right?
I mean, she's like, we have this tumbler.
Why was she on QVC when she was doing it? She's just like, look at this, guys. QVC.
By the way, it's just a gift bag, too. This is like some free swag. She's like, we have this. And Dorit's like, and it can be hot or cold. Amazing.
Chic.
And then she goes, whoa. When she shows like a license plate, she goes, whoa.
Like, Dorit, would you put that on your car? Like, I was thinking,
do it right now. Do it right now.
I was like, no one, I don't even know why they made that. No one's putting that on their car.
She was like, oh, wow, that is so
She's
chic.
like, get out of here. License plate frame.
And then and then fucking Jamie, she's like, we have a seat belt with a buckle.
Like, oh,
so chic.
So chic.
So chic.
So chic.
It was this.
What else is in there?
This scene was amazing.
Well, maybe Dorit really was excited because she broke. She's like, free things. Yeah.
I like I kind of feel this is sort of why Dorit is somehow like she somehow endears me to her, even though like she's the least. I hate her the least of the Fox Force 5.
Oh, absolutely. Like
because
because
this feels genuine. Like she feels genuinely this excited.
Honestly, I do think she was excited about the free stuff. Like she was honestly, I was personally excited by everything in the swag bag because I love free things. And I was like, that is nice. I do need a new leash. How did you know?
Like she looked over Dan. She's like, that is so chic.
And chic. Wow. I would use that. I'm going to use that. I need to go get that puppy that I returned to use this.
Oh,
call back.
Slow clap. Slow clap on that. That was so good. Okay, so Kyle then decides to say, okay, here, I'm going to say this here on camera. I've decided to donate $25,000 to some joint fund that they have together. And Diana goes, I'll match it.
It's so annoying because, and as she said online, she just gives money just to give. She doesn't even know what it's for, which is the thing is it's always great, no matter, even if it's with bad intention, to give to charities, because like money is money and charities need money. But it just annoys me that like you learn what the charity is and care. Like money is great, but like time is also great too. It feels so like disingenuous. It didn't feel like, I wasn't like, oh my God, what an amazing thing. It just felt like she was like, it almost felt like she was like, Sutton, I'm going to give money. Like it almost felt like
it felt like a flex. Felt like, it didn't feel right.
It did not feel good.
No, I felt bad about it.
Yeah. I didn't like it.
I didn't like that
it.
Money.
Yeah. It's like, but take it because it's for a charity, but also I'm not going to be like patting you on the back for doing basic civic duty. Yeah, you have the money to spend. Like that's anything. That's why I put 25,000 is $25 to you. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Well, shut up. Okay, so then Dorit, Sheree, and Sutton go into like the little, I don't know, fireplace room, and Sheree's like, "Why are you always in trouble?" And Sutton's like, "Because I say what I think." And Sheree's like, "How's that working out for you?" She's like, not very well, but I'm going to stop talking and you're all going to be like, why isn't she talking?
I know. And they would be like that. Like,
it's like, I think she also is acknowledging that they bait her to say shit
all the time.
And then they're like, Sutton. It's like, so, okay, so who's going to entertain you guys? And like, who's going to give you content for the show? If you're not going to do it. Clearly. And so Dorit, who's not seen the footage. Okay, here, I'm going to start here. They all got the text from Diana. So they all saw her shady slight to Garcelle misspelled.
Right?
So why were they not like, oh, that was a little fucking rude? But they're immediately on Diana's side. Like, even though it was rude that Diana cut off Dorit when Dorit's like, so tell me about your book. And she's like, I did already. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. And Garcelle was like actually being Garcelle was being defensive on behalf of Dorit when she was like, I thought it was a little rude that Dorit asked you and you were like, I'm not going to talk about the book. And so instead of Dorit kind of being like, that was nice of Garcelle to like sort of stick up for me, when Diana sends the group chat, like, I don't want Garcelle spelled incorrectly to think I'm rude. They were all like, oh, shady. It's like, okay, then she shows up with her book as the gift. And none of you are like, so wait, I thought you were on bed rest. You went out of your way to shade Garcelle, but now you're here. Like, none of you want to clock that. And so Dorit's like, because Sutton's like, I would never make fun of someone's miscarriage. And Dorit goes, but you did.
I was so mad when Dorit did that. I was really disappointed in her. I mean, and when I say that, it's not that I don't expect that from Dorit, but I was like, Dorit, that was a moment where I could have felt like you didn't even need to say anything. Like, did you have to do that?
And why did they like what is it with the Fox Force 5 going immediately for the new evil person? Like, why do they seek that person out?
Because they're all evil, so they just need to they're just collecting more evil people.
Like, God,
they love, and they also, because Erika lost all her money, so they need to like get funding. That's what I think.
They need to fund it for sure.
They need funding.
They need an investor.
All the force, the what's it called? What's it?
Fox Force Fools.
Fox Force Fools. They're all a bunch of scammers.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So like, there they are. Like, and Kyle is too cheap to like do the funding herself. So she's like, we do need funding. You never invest in your own company.
Totally. You can trace it that way. Sutton, though, Sutton does make things, quote, all about her. That is one of Sutton's flaws. Yeah. Pia and I are not blind to Sutton's flaws. Okay?
Oh, absolutely not.
We're not. But the problem is y'all are so flawed too. So shut the fuck up.
It's just like whatever Sutton is doing at this moment for me, it just is nothing in comparison to what they're doing. And that's the issue. So it's not as if I am blind to all the things like, yes, Sutton bringing up Diana's bed resting was a moment that Sutton was definitely being shady. But I don't think she came in with intentions on like mocking her miscarriage or like thinking it was as deep as what it was. It was directly coming from a shady text that Diana sent. And she just was like calling her out. Like, if you're on bed rest, why are you here? And that was literally the statement that she was trying to make. Had nothing to do with like her bleeding and all this stuff. And like that's where it gets too much.
That is exactly. So I thought I would say the after show for like after the recap, but I'll just like splice it in because that's exactly what Sutton said in the after show. Yeah. She's like, look, I know that it seems like I was just being shady about it, but what I was doing was kind of being protective of Garcelle in that she sent this shady text. And so I was kind of like, hold on. So why did you even she's like, I didn't handle it right. And she's like, I can be jabby and I can be like that. So she owns that she can be petty. And like, I appreciate that someone can own up to those things because that's a good housewife can be those things.
And I think that is a perfect housewife because we do need you to be shady and jabby.
Yes.
That's a whole
get it going.
Gag. That's a whole gag of the thing. But I think Sutton's doing it right. She's doing the jabby thing. She gets called out on it. She'll apologize and move forward because these are her coworkers.
Yeah. So she admitted, she's like, I was more upset about the text, but it came across like I was mocking her miscarriage. And I found out that I hurt her. And then that changed it for me.
And I feel like as soon as Diana said that, she immediately let go of whatever jab she was going to do. And she was like, oh, listen, I'm hearing you. That is not actually where I was going with that. I see how that went left. And so then here I am going to apologize, but damage was done for Diana.
Because Diana is writing this story out. Like because again, I think this really did happen like 6 months prior.
She's making it seem like it happened of very recent in that timeline.
And it didn't.
Okay. That's what she's making it seem like.
Yeah, like they're all like, I thought this happened like 6 months ago, and I think it did.
I think she's a fucking liar.
I do too.
And I think that
I want to see.
I don't think that her relationship with her husband. Yeah, I want to see her medical records, and I don't think that her marriage or fiance is real either. I think that's an arrangement.
Oh, duh.
I kind of think he's like. I don't want to be like. Never mind. I'm not even gonna.
I know what you're gonna say, but we're gonna keep that off the pod.
Yeah,
because we know. I know exactly what you're gonna say, and I'm sure everyone else.
That's fine.
Knows exactly
it's unnecessary.
We know. Everyone knows what we're gonna say.
Yeah, unnecessary.
Because I've seen it. I've seen many comments. We all know what we're gonna say.
Yeah, unnecessary. I'm not going to do
it. So while that's going on, Kyle, Diana, and Crystal are over at the bar talking about. Crystal had posted on Instagram just an honest post about how she's like, look, rather than post like my family photo and be like, hey, everything's great, I'm going to be more honest. The holidays are really triggering my eating disorder. And I've seen a lot of comments about how it's ridiculous that Diana isn't calling out Kyle for turning Crystal's moment about eating disorder into Kyle's moment, because that's exactly what she did. I don't mind that. It doesn't. And the thing is, it doesn't matter.
All of that, Emily. I was thinking the same exact thing when it was happening. I was like, this is exactly what Sutton was doing. However, I don't think that Kyle was like in this as much as like, I'm gonna give Kyle some slack here. Like, yeah, I think she was really trying like to like, cause she had said something, you know, to Crystal, and she's like, I only say that because I too have on camera admitted that I had an eating disorder. So I, you know, like I wanted to like relate to you on that level. And that's fine, Diana. Like, that's what, like, I want Diana. That is an example of like, when someone says something, it's not necessarily Kyle. I didn't feel like Kyle was one upping her. She just was like, you're not in this alone. And in this group, I can at least tell you that I can understand on a deeper level, because I've also gone through this. So if you do need to speak to someone, because I've gone through it, I can be there for you.
Exactly.
It's called an olive branch.
And Kyle was a little, I think she went a little too hard on Crystal. Like, she was like, so you eat very little, and then what you do, you throw up. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, they were all of them. Like, when we get laid down later.
Yeah.
Like, they're like very invasive questions, like almost like an interrogation.
Hold on. Like, she was willing to talk about it in her own way. Like, you don't need to then ask her to get very specific about what it is,
especially on camera. Like,
yeah,
I get it. Like, maybe if it was off camera, you're like, let's get it down to the nitty gritty. Like, if you're comfortable, but like on camera, like to
that
like
was
have her
very invasive.
You put it into a predicament of saying all of those things was like a lot.
And I connect with her eating disorder. This is exactly what I go through. Like, I don't deprive myself, but I do a lot of like calculating, and anything I do eat, I feel very guilty about. I rarely enjoy food without feeling extremely guilty. And I've always hated being in my body. So I related to everything she was saying. Like, I am short now, but I got tall at a really young age. So I was like the tallest girl at like 10.
You had that early growth spurt, and you're like, am I gonna be like a giant?
All the boys made fun of me. And I remember one time we were going on a field trip, and the bus was late, and one of the boys said, why don't you just send Emily down there? I think of that once a week. It was like a formative core memory.
Yeah.
So these things stick with you, especially since she's also Asian.
Absolutely.
So she's like, I looked different, and I was the tallest. Like, it's just like, it was like, I felt so gross. And so, you know, she's exhausted. And I thought that was great. Now, just to be shady, then Kyle's new orange confessional look happens. What the actual fuck? She has that kind of, you know, when you use sponge curlers.
Yeah.
She has the look of when you use sponge curlers, and it's like they're too, like, she's curled her hair too. And so it's now her hair is like inches shorter.
Yes. Yes. All of that is exactly. Yes.
What the hell? How did this pass? What tests?
Well, the thing is with me is like, as we've like learned more about the confessional looks and stuff through Bravo franchises, it's like they don't necessarily like film everything all in one sitting. So they usually have like 3 looks that they'll do in a confessional, and filmed over time. So they always have to match the look. So like, if they like film another day, like they want to match like that orange look. So she has to do that to her hair every time. Is what I'm getting at.
I can't, like, I just can't imagine being turned around in the makeup chair and being like, yep.
But you know what? It's one of those things where like you do something really different that you haven't done before, and you're like, this is it.
Kyle does that a lot. And
then but like I think sometimes, because like you do look at something in the mirror and you're like, this is it. I love it.
Yeah.
And
all the time.
But then you look back at it, you're like, ooh,
not the move.
Not
the move. Oh yeah. That's why I don't really venture outside of I don't really wear anything besides what I always wear, but Kyle does this a lot where she'll try a new look, and I'm like, this didn't work. Kyle is so short. Like, if anyone has ever seen Kyle in person, the first thing you're aware of is like, wow, she is
tiny little
person. Short. So it's hard to pull off a lot of looks on a tiny little body. But can you imagine seeing that tiny little frame with the curly hair and the
so big? Her hair is so big because she keeps secrets.
It's exactly. All right. So now all of them are together in the fireplace room, and Diana feels like it's a perfect time to be like awkward. And Sutton's like, I think that Diana isn't ready to accept anything. Diana's like, she's right. And Kyle like is acting all dumb. She's like, except what? Like, did you apologize? Like, what? I'm sorry. I just don't know.
I literally wanted. I think I audibly said to my TV, "Fuck off, Kyle." Like
the way she like, it's like that fake confused thing. It's like, you know, you're not confused. You know, you're trying to get. I don't like. You know what you're doing.
Yeah. And real quick before we get into the drama, I meant to say this a few moments back, but I was like, I love how Jamie Lee Curtis, after she gave her gift bag stuff, was like, let me get the hell out of here because I am not going to ruin my career getting mixed up in this goddamn drama. She's like,
they also probably let her know, like, you're just going to have to be there for the lunch.
Yeah,
don't
absolutely. Worry. I wouldn't want to stay there if I was Jamie because, like, especially with these problematic women. No. Jamie, protect your bag, protect your career. Don't get mixed up in that shit.
Get there, promote your stuff, and leave.
Yeah. And I was like, smart lady.
Oh, yeah. I think that all of like anytime, like when Lisa Rinna did her lip kit launch party, like her business partner was there in the beginning to talk a little bit about it. And then she's like, and goodbye.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
You got to know when to leave.
So Diana decides this is a perfect time to perform her tearful explanation. It's like she's not even getting actual tears out. It was a horrible fake cry. It was one of the worst I've ever seen. She's like, it's like she makes the sound of a fake cry, but doesn't really like commit.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to do it, like I can fake cry, like get there.
Yeah.
So she's like, I just really wanted to, like, you know, it's like this would be the time that my baby would have been born. And like, this is, you know, oh my God, this is, you know, like, okay, then hurry it up, get to the tears. But then she doesn't quite get there. She's like, so I went to Mexico, you know, and I thought I could have fun. And maybe I shouldn't have done the tequila because, you know, then like it's a blood thinner. So they flash back brilliantly to show her totally fine with the drinking. They show her saying, oh, I shouldn't have had the champagne because now I'm tired. And Crystal goes, oh, well, what do we need? What can we get you to pep you up? And she's like, a glass of white wine, maybe. That doesn't look like someone who's struggling. And then she says, oh, now I'm bleeding on the plane home. And then my doctor says bed rest. And maybe I sent a rude text, you know, but I'm trying my best. You know, and there we are.
I like that she just kind of like throws and I sent a rude text and then like continues on with.
So you knew it was rude.
Like you knew it was rude. And this is how Sutton got here. And that's why she called you out. But because you said miscarriage, it negates everything. It negates the fact that you were rude to Sutton and dismissed her on the plate. It negates the fact that you were rude at Garcelle's party from the moment you walked in to the moment you left. Mm-hmm. Because you said miscarriage. And and I am empathetic to, you know, what it might be like. I've never experienced one, but like, yes, I'm sure it puts you in a head spin and maybe you do act in ways that you wouldn't normally. But I feel like we have seen, I think this is Diana, and I don't think it has anything to do with her miscarriage. I think that is who she is as a person. And she's using her miscarriage to be able to behave badly.
Yeah. She's weaponizing it.
And I don't like that. That's kind of gross to me.
It is. And also, isn't it ironic that she admits she sent a rude text and Garcelle called her rude and she had a problem with that? Just saying. I'm
like, it's like, this is why I think Beverly Hills really frustrates people, because it's not like these red flags or these things that are happening are so gargantuan that it's like, I don't understand how they don't see in the moment why all of this is happening. Like, you know, and then they get all like shocked where the fans are like, Puppygate didn't make sense to me. Yeah. Denise doesn't make sense to me. And this doesn't make sense to me. The Erika stuff doesn't make sense. Like, it's just like, are you guys stupid?
And then fucking Kyle and Dorit are giving her life. They're like, oh my God. Yeah. You know, I thought it was months ago, which it was 6 months ago. And Diana doesn't correct and explain when it was. She just goes, no. Like, so when was it?
Yeah, like Diana's very good at like no could mean a lot of different fucking things.
No, it was. So when was it exactly?
I hope somebody asks that and brings out some goddamn receipts.
Yeah, I need you to come with your medical records to the reunion.
And I want it to be blown up on big so we can read it.
I need those. I need a receipt. I have receipts like that where you can say it was like a month before filming.
I would like bring them out. Like, I know Diana doesn't like receipts, but because usually it's going to not be in her favor. But here we go. She is not like
because if your friends here, because Sutton brings this up too. Sutton says in the after show, she goes, when you send a text like Diana sent with all of this medical stuff in it, and it's meant to be rude to Garcelle, we can't say anything to it. So it's passive aggressive because we can't say shit to it.
Yeah.
And so so she says, she's like, even her friends, meaning Kyle and Dorit, thought it was months ago. She didn't get mad at them for that misunderstanding. Yeah. But all of us were under the impression that it was a while ago. Like none of us thought it was a pressing matter.
Right. I also think the reason like why Sutton even, because they were all under the impression that this happened a very long time ago. So it seemed like she was let's be frank. We all thought you were making up that you're on bed rest and that no doctor told you to be on bed rest. And you just said it. And that's what it is. Let's be honest. We just thought you were making that up because you didn't want to go to Garcelle's party and you wanted to make everyone feel bad and also shade Garcelle. We thought you were making it up. And then, but the difference is once that we're allowed to think whatever we want to think that you made it up. But once you correct us and say, hey, no, this is actually happening, everyone backed off and said fine and accepted it as your truth.
And then you show up anyway. So all of us are like, so did a doctor tell you to go on bed rest or not?
I feel like her man friend told her to go on bed rest. Like, you need a nap. I think he's like, are you tired? You want a nap? I feel like that's what happened. She's like, right. Bed rest. She's like, I was resting and it wasn't a bed. Bed rest. I never said doctor told me. I said bed rest. This is a bed and a rest. Like,
oh no, she specifically
did she say doctor?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
the doctor.
Emily is like, no, I'm not gonna let her get off that easy. She said doctor. I love it, girl. Yes, she said doctor. The doctor, after all of that in Mexico, the doctor said she needs to be on bed rest. So, but then Sutton, okay, when it first started, I was like, Sutton, don't you dare start apologizing. But I actually think this was a smart move strategically because all these witnesses are here. Sutton's already apologized numerous times. Yeah. And they didn't see that. And she's given genuine apologies multiple times.
But this time they're all here. All of them are here to witness it. She gave a great apology.
It was perfect.
She says, I'm to blame for 95% of it. Take all the space you need. I'm here if you need to talk about it. Crystal even says, Sutton, that was beautiful.
I loved when Crystal, I was like, you know what? Crystal really, she had a really good episode, this episode, because Crystal is the closest to Diana in the
yes.
Group. And this made me see a subjective side, which gave me hope for the reunion.
It was very good. So this was a good move because, and then you cut over to like Kyle and Dorit always have this look on their face when there's a fight like this happening because they just want the fight to continue because it's like not about them.
Yeah.
And so they cut back over them and they're just like, is she going to forgive her? Like they don't look like they want, you can tell they don't want any resolution.
Oh, they don't act that you took the words right out of my mouth. They don't want resolution. And actually was give Diana the morsel of kindness that I can give to her. I was actually really happy with Diana to be like, this is like, she was actually being like, this is true. She did. I don't. And yes, let's put a pause. And it was like the most like I will say that I think Diana handled it really well too. And Tweedledee and Tweedledum over there. Yeah. Really wanted to keep eating popcorn and watch them like implode.
Yeah, they get this look on their face and they're like, oh no, we're just going to keep acting like this all really tense. It's like, no, it's resolving itself.
Yeah. And they're like the people that like when someone gets in a fight and they're like, ooh, She said that, like, just like keep trying to keep stoking the fire, you know?
Totally. Oh, so anyway, so now we go to Rinna and Erika, who've been quarantining and isolating. Their conversation is so ridiculous. They're like, what else can't we get through? And and whatever. But now the LA Magazine article has come out, and Erika, like, spoken like a true criminal. She goes, they criticize me for being ambitious. They dehumanize me. I'm like, is that not just the most like criminal thing to say? It's like, bitch, they don't criticize you for being ambitious. That is not the word. Okay.
That is a really weird word to use for fraud.
Yeah.
Scammer.
Like, thief. You weren't like, you're talking about something that it's a perfect way to manipulate yourself once again as the victim. You're not ambitious. That wasn't ambition. That was lying. That was cheating. That was stealing. That was hurting people to get what you wanted.
I mean, I guess it was ambitious to think that you were going to get away with it. like
you're taking a word that's often used to describe awesome people.
Right. They're like I'm like, she is just now made ambitious negative in my head.
And it's like she does this a lot where she acts like she tries to use the whole like women are supposed to be quiet and subdued and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bitch, that is such an old trope. Like we don't do that anymore. Like It is 2022. We don't need to pretend like that's still happening.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not what's happening to you. We're not saying that you need to be quiet. No one's saying that. We're asking you not to be a total see you next Tuesday.
Yes.
Okay. But she always goes to that place of like, they just criticize, they dehumanize me. It was like, well, bitch, you give them no choice. You're acting like you have no heart.
I can't.
Tom, okay, here I'm going to, okay. She says, Tom calls, okay? But sometimes doesn't know who she is. Didn't she leave him because he was so mean?
I think she's like decided to pretend like that she didn't say that.
That was her first. I'm gonna go back and she just threw
anything at the wall of like, how do I get people to feel bad about this divorce for me? And she just started saying anything she could, like anything she's ever heard anybody say about a divorce. She just started throwing it at the wall.
Never forget that scene. Okay. I'm gonna go back to last year. Okay. I had seen it was obviously the news of the divorce broke prior to the season. All these dives came out about like, did Erika know? And a lot of people wanted to say that Erika did know. And I'm going into the season going, maybe, because I saw that all of them were still friends with her. I was like, maybe there's going to be something that's out in this season, that's revealed in this season, that's going to make me side with her. She made it like I'm ready for it. Like I was ready for it. So the divorce episode happens, and here comes the explanation, and I'm ready for it. I'm ready for her to be like, turns out Tom's a fraud. Turns out, nope. She says, I couldn't live like that anymore. I said, I love you, and he said, thanks, hun. Huh? You're going to go with the neglected housewife? What? I couldn't believe this was happening. I couldn't believe. I'm like, you've lasted all these years. This man is closer to death than not. And now you're going to leave because he's cold? And then she started telling all the story. Oh, I remember one time I was late and, some guy said, oh, maybe he should send a plane for you next time. Get a man who can afford it. And he said, if you can afford her, you can have her. I'm like,
the thing is, she didn't. I'm just saying, if she was going to go that route, she needs to really lean into it. And what needed to follow is it was so abusive that if he and I was so controlled mentally, physically, monetarily, that if he put papers in front of me, if I didn't sign, it would be like, I don't get to eat for the rest of the week or something like that. And that would have tied into I didn't even know what I was signing, like Teresa Giudice. And it's like still putting the blame on Tom, but being more of her just like not knowing what was going on. But she just like, she wanted to have her cake and eat it too. Like, I'm abused. Also, I don't know if that he actually defrauded people. Like, she was just like saying everything. And I was like, you had to stick to one narrative and like,
my
really
theory is that they didn't expect to go with the he has dementia bit.
Yeah, like
they didn't expect that. So then she was like, oh, fuck, we're leaning into that. So now she was like, and yes, actually, he felt like he didn't have all his faculties. It's like, so wait, hold on. So you knew he didn't have all his faculties. So maybe that was why he was being rude. Maybe that's why he was being short.
Yeah, she's just an idiot. And then also it could be
I'll never get over it.
And then that also could be why, if he was cheating, people with dementia sometimes, like I actually have the wedding that I went to last week. My friend has a friend who actually takes care of a dementia patient, and he needs round the clock care. He's actually really well off, so this is like he can afford to do this. So like he's never alone, and she is his favorite because he thinks that she is his wife. Like, shit. Yeah, like so. Someone with dementia could literally, like, they're just not living in our reality. So if he was having an affair and if he does have dementia, like cheating, it wouldn't be off the table either, because he is literally in a different world that doesn't, like, Erika might not be his wife in those moments.
And you're meaning to tell me that if she knew Tom was cheating, she wasn't out getting younger dick?
Yeah.
Please.
I don't think that they've had a physical relationship in many years.
Like, this was a very fantastic arrangement for her. And then she like dressed him up for filming. Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you've seen that trend on TikTok where it's like the woman who's like married to like a 98-year-old. And they're like, when you hear your 98-year-old husband cough, and then they turn around and they do like the lip quiver, like, cause they're like excited.
Yes.
They're like, I feel like that was Erika until the lawsuits happened. She was just waiting.
Yes. So like, please. So now it's like, he's totally not all the way there, but you know, he was mean to me. So I left him in the middle of the night when he was unaware of it. Fuck him. You left like a little old man. Like,
I don't know. All of it sounded really gross to me.
No matter which way you look at it, you look like a bad person, Erika.
Yeah, like you're the one who decided to marry someone like 40 years older than you.
Yeah.
Like, what did you think was going to happen at this point in his life?
Yeah.
Like, you didn't think ahead that like at some point you might be taking care of somebody who is like almost like reverting back to a child.
Exactly. And so, but you expect him to remain this like,
I think we should bring her up. I think we should bring her up on charges of reckless abandonment.
I support it. I support it. She just left him in his mansion, and he's like, and she said she'd say he'd call and be like, I love you, I miss you. It's like, well, hold on. I thought he was a horrible, awful man.
Yeah, I thought he never said I love you. Like, didn't he say he never says I love you?
You cannot get your story straight.
That's
bitch.
what I'm saying. She threw too many things at the wall, and none of them stuck.
So, and then I love it. If she were to divorce Tom, she would have to pay him alimony. So, you know, you're getting exactly what you deserve, bitch.
Absolutely. She needs to ask Rena for that $5 million loan back.
Bye-bye. Okay. Kathy's house. We finally get Kathy. She has arrived. The way she comes down the stairs in like this red, it looks like a Christmas top, and like her sunglasses.
I'm gonna just say this whole episode made me so fucking excited for Christmas.
Me too.
I was like, bring on the warm chai lattes.
Yeah.
Bring on the gingerbreads. I can't wait. And I've been seeing that on my TikTok For You page. People are ready for Christmas already. I've been seeing a lot of like Christmassy things, or even like Halloween stuff. And I'm like, I am so fucking ready for fall and winter.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of like summer heat.
Well, the thing is, summer was always my favorite growing up, but I realized as an adult, I'm like, why don't I get excited about summer as much anymore? And it's like, oh, I was only excited about summer because when you're a kid, you're in school, and you get 2 months where you don't have to do shit. That's the only reason summer was exciting. I'm an adult now, and I work every day. And summer, we don't get 2 months off anymore. So summer's just hot and inconvenient now.
Yeah.
and I'm still working.
Yeah. Then you have to like keep doing stuff. You're like, but I'm sweating.
Yeah.
So not into it. Kyle is so jealous of Kathy's Christmas decorations.
Yeah, she is.
I love when Kathy goes, I did this for Architectural Digest. And Kyle's like, fuck me. Kyle's like, when will they call me? I'm like, not with that stupid neon sign in your
why? Emily, you keep saying everything I'm about to say. I was just going to freaking say that neon sign.
Like, that's ruining everything. I don't even, what does it say?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's hideous.
It says, welcome to this dumb bitch's house.
I wish it said that.
Welcome to this unsecured house supplied by Teddy. Was it Mellencamp's husband?
Come steal from us.
Come steal all of my possessions so I can get the insurance money.
So they sit for lunch and they kind of like fight over who can't get a hold of who. And Kathy's like, you're really hard to get a hold of. And Kyle's like, Kathy, this is what happens when I call you. And it goes straight to voicemail. And she's like, oh. And Kyle's like, Kathy, you use your iPad to message me on Instagram, like comment, like not even message, but to comment on a post to be like, call me. I find that endearing. I find it's adorable. I remember when that happened. I remember like it was like last year when it happened. And then and Kyle shows her like all the texts that she sends her, and she's like, no response. But then Kathy's calling her, the lady from last season. She's calling her Paula. She's like, thank you, Paula. I really hate that Kyle takes this whole moment in her confessional to be like, oh, Paula, I always knew her as the lady. And they flash back to the reason this pisses me off so much is because when Kathy and Kyle went on Watch What Happens Live, Kathy sitting right next to Kyle explained, I didn't want to say her name on camera. I just didn't know if she wouldn't want that. So I just kept saying the lady, but I know her name. Her name's, by the way, her name isn't Paula, it's Paula.
Paula.
So it's not Paula, it's Paula. But I'm sure Paula has gotten over that. She's like, she'll never get it right. I'm just used to being called the wrong name.
Yeah.
But she's like close enough at this point. But I didn't like that Kyle really capitalized on that moment just to get a soundbite and be like, let's remember that bad moment of Kathy's from last season.
She does that a lot. Like that was a way to be like, she's elitist. She's jealous of, like she it's going back to what you said. Like she looks at all of what Kathy has, the beautiful decorations, and she just wants to like, but guys, she's an elitist, which she is. But the thing is, Kathy is giving me what I need. So I'm good with it until I can see whatever they're freaking trying to throw her under the bus for.
Exactly. I do want to see. I do need to see it. But I also don't know. I know that the really problematic thing that is going around is the only one who heard it was Rinna. So
she is not anybody.
She's not my source.
Hey, Munchausen.
And if Rinna's not going to say exactly what it was, it's going to give me like the whole Crystal, like what she said was very dark. And then we never find out what it was, only we think it's the whole pool conversation.
It's just like, I'm just having flashes of Rinna over the years doing in the same bit. Oh, do you want me to say what was happening in your bathroom? Were you guys doing cocaine? Like, just like that, just like the accusations on like fluff, like, just like she just says things to be shocking. And because she's like, this is going to keep me on next season. Like, she's just trying to figure out something that's going to like secure her diamond. I have
some tea about the cocaine moment.
Was it real? I'm sure it was. It's LA, but like, also don't be telling people's business.
But the thing is, the only reason I give a shit about that is because it means that someone in production told her that.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure.
So that she could use it.
It's probably that man who got fired.
It really opened up some. But again, it's not shocking.
Yeah, I'm not shocked.
I also didn't cares.
Yeah, I also didn't like. I guess we're just really desensitized because we do live in LA, so it's just like not a big deal here.
And it's like if everyone got up and went inside, like get up and go inside too, Rinna. Like they were done eating.
Yeah, like It's none of your business.
Like a couple people went inside, maybe like did a few key bumps in the bathroom. It's like not that big a deal.
And it also kind of triggers me into thinking about the whole Denise thing. It's like one of those things where it's like, you're trying to make it seem like weren't your kids there, and like you always like Rinna's always like going too low. It's like you're making it seem like I'm endangering my children.
Exactly.
Like I don't even know how Dorit got over that part, because it's like I'm not endangering my small children. The Denise thing, like my children were in the next room when I'm allegedly having an affair with Brandy, like no door. Like it's just like I hate when they're like, it makes it seem like they're being like, that to me is a really serious accusation. Like they're being neglectful of their children and almost endangering them. And I think that's a line that we can't cross that, but we can talk about a miscarriage. And this is feeling very pro-life. Like,
right. I want this baked potato and caviar.
Oh, I've never had caviar before. And I've never even cared to have it, but maybe I need to have it on a goddamn baked potato. And I was here,
butter and sour cream.
Yeah, I was actually here for Kathy's tutorial on how to eat a baked potato.
Give it to me right now. I was too. I was like, you do what? You slice and then you go.
And then you put the napkin and squeeze it. I don't think I've ever done that. And I was like,
neither have I.
I was like, Kyle, pipe down. I didn't know how to eat a baked potato.
I was like, can you show us again, Kathy?
I was like, Kathy, like. Kyle's like, I already did it. I was like, well, I appreciated that she wanted to make sure the viewers knew how to fucking eat a potato, because I didn't.
Because Kyle's like, I was fine. My hands are fine. I'm like, okay, thank you for showing off, Kyle. Stupid ass flex.
Yeah, it's because you're so cold and you needed to be warm.
So Kathy's just very stressed out. You know, she's like, I ran out of ribbon. And
I was dying when she was like, God, I'm just like, everything's going to shambles in my life.
The stores won't deliver.
They won't deliver. There's no ribbon. There's a ribbon shortage. Did you know?
So a person peed on my sofa. No, someone peed on my sofa.
And your dog? No.
And someone. So Kyle's like, you mean a dog or no? She goes, no, a person. And then she goes, all my carpets are ruined. I'm like, no, go back to that.
I just pictured someone loose in Kathy's house just peeing on everything.
I need to know who lives in that. Who in the home is who's even a suspect in that? An elderly person, fine, but
someone is going around Kathy's house and pissing on everything, and I need to know who it is.
What?
I believe her too.
I do too. She wasn't. She
was like, someone is doing it.
She's like, no, a person. Yeah. And then all my carpets are ruined. Like she just skipped right over it. In addition to that, all my carpets are ruined. Like from what?
The pee bandit
is this person?
I think it's the same person.
The same person.
It's just they're just peeing everywhere.
There's a rogue
and
human.
I want it to be a woman, because that means that they're squatting to do it. It's much easier to pee as a man.
It's Paula. It is Paula.
Paula's like
never said her name right.
She's just like, this is what you. We're not going to do that to Paula. She didn't do this. She did
like
clear her
Paula
name.
Paula would never. I take it back. Paula would
clear.
Paula's going to have to clean it up. Paula would never.
She's a lady.
Paula would never, because literally she's like, I would have to clean it up. So she would never.
Yeah, she would never. She's like, I'm not creating more work for myself.
Yeah, no. It's one of like Paris's like drunk party friends that they have to like take care of, probably.
I think it was Kyle, because she said, I want these things and I'm going to just start peeing on everything.
Kyle is the jealous type.
She was like, no, it's the dog. She was trying to blame the dog.
She's like, you mean the dog?
She's like, no, Kyle, it was you. So she was looking at it. She was
like, don't make me say it on camera, Kyle. I will.
It was you. I know. I saw that.
I will.
We have Kyle. We have cameras. I saw
it. They show footage. They released the security footage.
I feel like she's like holding those tapes close to her. She's like, I didn't want to have to pull these out, but
you leave me no choice. Okay, so Diana's stupid house for a stupid party that looks so cold and like uninviting.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my God, it's COVID. It's killing me. I gotta have a big party like I'm used to. So I'm trying to make it cozy and whatever. But their bar that they have has like all of the drinks, because she's got that line Nero, whatever. Oh. And this drink is a martini glass with an ornament ball, like a ball ornament kind of thing.
Oh,
with
yeah,
a drink inside. And he's like, wow, super creative. I'm like, super creative? That is not fucking creative at all. That is embarrassing. Like it's here's a martini glass and then we put a ball in it and we put the liquid in it. I'm like, well, then remove the martini glass. Like, what are you fucking like? Or this was in, like, guys, as someone who has worked in restaurants long enough, I'm like, a mixologist is watching going, what the fuck is that?
You know, the mixologist watching was Tom Sandoval, and he was not happy.
He was like, I would have done it.
They should have hired me.
Yep.
They should, you know,
I
he
should
loves
consult on all.
He was like,
Bravo
I would have made.
shows.
He was like, I would have made it smoky. I would have had an elf that popped out of that ball.
That is just, that was so tacky. Like that. So it's like, then you sip it from a straw. Then then just hold the ball. Like just then you just like,
and you would just have balls in your hand.
Then that's fine. Like, what the fuck? That was horrible. Okay. So Dorit isn't coming because she also has tested positive. So
I was missing Dorit because she comes with the fashions. I would have loved to see what she would have brought to the occasion and to the party.
I'm also interested too to see how she is handling, you know, because the robbery.
Oh, that I forgot about that.
Like, how is she? You know, at one point when Kyle was doing press for something, they were still filming, and Kyle was like, you know, because they were like, "How's Dorit doing?" And she's like, you know, she was in shock at first, but now that some time has gone on, it's like she's starting to really affect her. So I'm curious to see like when that is and what it looks like. But okay, Erika's getting glam. And she's like, I'm going to have some drinks. I've been having a good time. At one event, I had a little too much of a good time. And Mikey's like, okay, well, do you want to drink right now? And she's like, yes. And that's already a bad idea. I really cannot handle, like, I get having the two like pieces in the front, but she has like an entire head of hair in the front on each side.
Yeah.
This isn't working. Like,
I just want to know, is Mikey getting paid? Because I don't think
I agree. He looks like he's struggling.
Yeah, like I feel
Mikey
like
does not have that glow anymore.
I feel like Mikey is like, I'm purely here because I'm just trying to book other clients through this television show. So like this is like a exposure thing for me at this point. Showcase, really a showcase, if you will.
And I'm like, for what?
He needs some clients that can pay the bills.
Because he looks like he's got the glasses on all the time. He can't even afford contacts.
He's like, because it's like, I think that I doubt he's being paid. I can't wait for him to turn on her, because he will. It's when you're not getting paid for
like
long enough.
It's like Stuart and Jen.
Yeah.
Shaw.
It's like after a while, like it's going to wear on him and he's going to turn. And I can't wait.
Can't wait. Diana comes down the stairs with Asher, and she's got this like horrible black dress on. It's like a turtleneck, long sleeve.
I don't like his outfit either.
She looks like his mom. I'm gonna say, like, I'm sorry. I actually think a younger, like in the case of, as much as I really don't like the couple, but Carolyn Stansbury, they look like a couple that I could see having sex.
Emily, you're literally you're like, we're on such the same wavelength. That's exactly the example I was going to use, because it's the same, like probably age difference too, but it's for some reason it doesn't feel that way.
Like, I'm like, she looks like she's going to give him a bottle. It looks wrong.
This is an arrangement, and that's all
100%.
It's a fucking arrangement.
Crystal comes in a green dress that's like short. This is too short though. It looks like it's like it doesn't fit right. I like a short dress, but it looks like
the thing is, I'm okay with it because she knows it's too short, but that's why she keeps pointing it out, because she's like, it's when I raise my arms. Short. The thing is, it's like, I get it, because like she just needed like an inch more of material.
An inch more. She's like a little too tall for it.
Yeah, she was like, the thing is, it like did, like, if you don't move, it did look good. And it was like one of those things where you really like the dress and you're like, I'm
like, when she tried it on and like looked in the mirror with her like not moving, she's like, it's cute. But as soon as you start walking, I'm like, oh, it looked like a shirt she tried to make a dress.
Well, that's like a if you're going to decide to keep that on, it's like a non-movement dress. It's like you stand and you don't move, and then you sit. You sit very carefully, and you stay in that position, and you do nothing else. Like,
it just needed 1 inch, and it would have been
I'm
fine.
just like, I'm like, thank God, just past the phase of like wearing things that are entirely too short, because it's just all you do is spend the whole time you're out adjusting it, and it's like I can't.
Yeah.
I can't live that life.
Rinna walks in and she's like, there was money spent on this party, like cash.
She's looking for another loan. She's looking for another loan.
Like, shut up. Like, cash, lots of it. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. She has money.
I hate Erika's hair. I can't stress enough how much I hate Erika's hair. Sutton has COVID too. Really bummed about that.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to see Sutton at the party.
Me too.
She probably would have been wearing a literal gift. Like that's Sutton's a very
full bow.
Like a full bow. Like the reason why we ran out of ribbon is because it's on Sutton's dress.
Yeah.
It's
Sutton is the ribbon shortage.
Yeah, she is the ribbon shortage. Kathy would have with no shame started going around and taking ribbon off of, like, I need this for my gifts.
Yes, she totally would. Kathy arrives, speaking of, and this is a really weird, I just posted about it. She knows Diana, and Diana says in her confessional, I know Kathy as Paris's mom, so I know her as a more stricter figure. And then when Kathy says hi to Diana's son, she's like, oh, so like, you know, who are you? He's like, I'm Diana's son. She goes, oh, so you know Paris. And he's like, I know Paris.
Yeah. Like, I felt like that was weird, right?
It was weird. Something was weird about it.
I feel like some type of something happened. And I almost feel like Kathy was like, I gotta get the hell out of here. Cause I don't know if it has anything to do with like the days of when they sent Paris away, or, you know,
something.
And I like, cause when she said stricter, cause when like Paris says, you know, she opened up about them like literally kidnapping her in the middle of the night and taking her to that god awful place.
It had a weird tone to it.
Yeah.
So then Garcelle arrives, this sweater. But then Kathy's like, I almost wore that sweater.
I wish she did. Oh my God. I would love to have had a twinning moment between those two. It would have pissed Kyle off so much.
Kyle would have immediately bought it. Kyle would have left, come back and worn it.
Yeah, she would she does not love that like friendship.
No.
She's very jealous and envious of it.
Was that Penn?
I'm afraid to look on, like, he's been scratching at the door and I'm like, he fucked that door up. I can feel it. Like, he was going to town on it. I was like, I'm so scared to look at what that door looks like.
Oh,
I have some paint. Fix it before Sean comes home.
Garcelle compliments Crystal. She's like, you look thin. And Crystal has a hard time like accepting it. And so Erika's like, oh, are you having a hard time with that? And Crystal's like, yeah, just the holidays really trigger me. And Garcelle's like, yeah, a lot of food.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah. And so Erika now is drunk. And she's like, so is it like you're depriving, or you eat and you feel guilty and you want to get rid of it? And Crystal's like, yeah, I feel guilty and I want to get rid of it. And so then Erika, trigger warning, everybody. Erika's like, I would just take laxatives and get rid of it. The reason why this is so fucking stupid, I can't stress enough, is that laxatives are a type of eating disorder. Taking laxatives are literally like, this is something people do with eating disorders.
Yeah. Like, it's like, people like,
it's purging.
Like, laxatives are meant for people who will literally have constipation issues, you know, but a lot of people use it as a way to get rid of unwanted weight.
When I was in an eating disorder program at one point, and we had a journal, and you had to mark on days it was like either purged, took a laxative, or something else. And I didn't ever do any of those things. I know I used to take laxatives when I was in high school. I forgot about that. But it's a thing. Like, it's a part of an eating disorder.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
So saying it.
It's just like, it just kept getting worse.
It kept getting worse.
It started off strong because I was like, oh, you're actually trying to learn. And then it just took a hard left off a cliff, tumbled down a few times, like that
and
story
the car
about
exploded, like the story about Tom.
Yeah.
And so Garcelle gets out and goes and says hi to Cherie and leaves Erika to be like, so question, is it like, how do you feel when you purge? And it's like, this is not like
all the invasive questions to Crystal is kind of gross.
This is too much. It's too fucking much.
I felt really bad for Crystal this episode.
It's not her job to educate you guys on what an eating disorder is. Okay, go look it up.
Like it's like they wanted her to like read her journal of how many times she's like thrown up or whatever. Like guys, you don't need to know the gritty details of her eating disorder. She has an eating disorder. She's working on it, and right now is a hard time for her. Like
stop. So then Erika's like, you want to throw it up. I want to take a laxative and get rid of it that way.
I was if you say laxative one more fucking time, girl.
So then she's like, okay, food's out. Oh, this is chicken tender. You can't have it. Get away.
She's out of control. Literally sent that text message to my mom. It's like, Erika is out of control.
And so in the after show, when they ask about this part, here's Erika's explanation. And I watched this whole clip. Like she's going to say something about the laxative. She's going to say something. She never once says anything about the laxative. She says, I was trying to get, because Crystal, she's got the means. She's got the resources. I was like, why don't you get help? Why are you not getting help for this? And that's what I was trying to get at. She never once mentions I shouldn't. She's like, I did have, this was after a few tequilas. I'm like, are you going to mention that you were out of line? Never once. She never once talks about it.
And that's her MO.
Yeah.
She doesn't ever say, hey, I made a mistake. I said this and own up to it. It's always tiptoeing, sidestepping around it and making it like not her fault. And I can't stand it.
Can't stand it. And that's the end of the fucking episode. So yeah. Let me get the mid-season trailer. Oh, we'll do that. Hold on. So before we do the mid-season trailer, Pia and I need to do our Beverly Hills Diamond moment. So
hold.
Here we go. Let me back up. And here we go. If you're not watching on YouTube, you really miss out on this whole thing. This whole beautiful, our diamonds.
These are the elusive Erika Girardi diamonds.
Yeah. So the mid-season trailer. I'm shocked that we're seeing any of the Kathy stuff. I will wait until you have your headphones in.
You see me struggling?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, damn it.
I just know with Kathy's power and also just some inside stuff I know, she was fighting Bravo. Like, do not use this.
I'm sure. I mean, if I was her, I would.
And so I was surprised that they're like not only using it, but like focusing on it. Because the whole mid-season trailer was pretty much just Kathy.
Yeah.
And like that whole thing, like they barely touched on Erika, the victims, the earrings, the drinking, barely. So when I'm wondering, the moment where Crystal says to Erika the whole thing about the earrings.
Yeah.
And it seems like Rinna says, Crystal, you keep your mouth shut. I'm wondering if that's just editing because it could easily be like Rinna could be being silly about something else and they just edited that in.
I hope not.
I hope not too, because I want it to because
I want Crystal to snap on that bitch.
Me too. I want it to be bad because I want Crystal to like, I want it to be bad.
I want it to be bad because I want someone to fucking check Lisa Rinna.
Me too.
And I feel like her, the way it is the way that they edit it, I feel like Crystal is not gonna. I've seen Crystal.
Yeah.
She will. I'm like, let's do it.
Yeah. I'm hoping that's what it was because
and Lisa's not even good at fighting.
Editing.
She's not even good at fighting with her words. She just says crazy things. And then when people come at her, she's just like,
well, that's sort of why I'm wondering because Rinna has a tendency to not speak up like that. She tends to kind of sit back and watch.
Yeah. So
I have a feeling it was just editing.
But the thing is, I slightly disagree with you because
good. I hope
because for the most part, she does that. But then this is how she gets her ass in trouble. then she'll just scream something shocking, like when the Halloween party, when Kim came and she was like,
yeah,
Kim, I heard you were real. See you next Tuesday. And she just screamed, like, because I'm not saying it might have not even been with like seriousness, whatever she's saying to Crystal, but it still will piss somebody off. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I hope it's bad because I want Crystal to go off, but I'm also the trailers often get me excited and then the moment happens and I'm let down. So I'm trying to keep my expectations low for that moment because it looked so good. And I'm like, hold on, don't be tricked.
Just like with the Diana thing, like, you want the villain?
Exactly.
Here I am.
So I don't want to get excited because that's the part I'm most excited for.
Well, the thing is, you're so right with like the trailers and especially with the Beverly Hills franchise, they build up these like huge moment, Puppy Gate, Denise Gate, all of these like gates. And then we get to it and I'm like, that's what it was.
Yes.
Like, even with this Kathy thing that's coming up, like, and also Kathy and her team are doing great like PR to spin whatever is coming up with this thing that she said allegedly, because I'm like, and the thing is, I know Kathy Hilton has said problematic things in the past. So it's not as if I'm like, yeah, she could never say anything problematic. I just don't. But the thing is, that doesn't mean that I think it actually happened in this moment.
Yeah.
And she is really making me believe it didn't happen because she's like getting ahead of it. She's like, I think she was on an after show and she was like, and apparently something that I was screaming at people. I'm like, it's like, she's very confident that that's not what happened. And I'm like, I'm confident now. I'm sorry. Am I confident that it didn't happen? Like,
she had a viewing party, which is hilarious. She had a viewing party. Mind you, they're on episode 11 and she had a viewing party, but that's her first episode. And Bryce was there from Entertainment Tonight and interviewed her on the red carpet and did a great interview with her and asked, one of the questions was, you know, we see Lisa Rinna getting involved, you know, between you and your sister. Did you appreciate that? Or, you know, what are your feelings on that? And her answer was very careful. She said, you know, I'm going to have to see how it's edited. I was like, whoa. That was an interesting answer. How it's edited. All right. Meaning like, I'm not going to comment until I see what they show.
Yeah.
And then she says something like, I think she really does love Kyle. And I think she loves me. And I hope she has good intentions. Very careful, very smart response.
Oh, just bring it on already. Like, I'm ready. How many episodes do we have left?
I've heard it's 22 episode season.
And we're on episode
11.
So we're literally mid. Okay. Dead center.
All dead right. Center, baby. Yeah.
All right. I am excited.
Me too.
No more filler episodes though. Like, I need all.
I can't. Did we already have 1 week that we didn't have an episode?
No, I don't think so.
Get prepared, guys. Get prepared. This happens. There's always 1 week off. And I think it's bullshit.
I do hate that. And it's always like like some behind the scenes or recap or something
or nothing.
Yeah, like I would rather not. I rather nothing than fluff.
I'd rather nothing. Or I'm sorry, don't take a week off. Okay, get your programming together.
Yeah,
it makes me very mad.
Yeah, me too.
So anyway, all right, guys. That wraps us up for the day. Please like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, rate, review. Please leave me a 5-star rating, guys. Follow me on Instagram at She Speaks Bravo. Follow Pia J on TikTok and Instagram at Pia JV. I'll leave everything in the description. Also, Facebook group, join it if you guys want to chat with each other, talk about the pod, talk about the channel, and I'll leave everything in the description below. All right, guys.
Oh, wait, I have one. Wait. I just want to add one quick thing. Congratulations, Emily, for 20K followers on Instagram.
Oh, thank you.
Let's get it up. Let's get to 25. Let's do it, guys. Push it.
Woo. Yeah, share, like, share, whatever. Do all of it. Okay, bye for real now, guys. Bye.
Bye.